You know that feeling, right? You're explaining something to an AI assistant, and just 2 sentences later, it's completely forgotten the most important part. It's less like having a conversation and more like using a powerful tool that has a terrible memory. For a lot of people, and I mean especially within the huge neurodivergent community, this isn't just a small annoyance. It's a massive gap that can make these tools feel pretty much useless.
But let's flip that on its head for a second. What if we could actually build an AI that adapts to your unique way of thinking? An AI that doesn't just chew on the words you type, but actually understands and supports the way your brain is wired. This is where it gets really exciting, because that's the big question behind a whole new way of thinking about AI, something called neurotype. So, to really get why neurotype is such a big deal, we first have to talk about what's broken with the AI we're all using right now. It's a problem we can call the AI communication gap. And this list right here, I think this nails our collective frustration. First off, standard AIs have the memory of a goldfish, right? You mention a key detail and poof, it's gone a minute later. So you have to repeat yourself over and over. They're also totally unpredictable. Ask the same question twice, and you might get two completely different answers. And don't even get me started on personality. It can shift and change right in the middle of a conversation, which just shatters any real sense of connection or trust. So here's the crucial takeaway. For anyone who thinks non-linearly, or who really relies on consistency to help with executive function, these aren't just little quirks, they are fundamental roadblocks. It forces you, the human, to constantly adapt to the machine's limitations, when it should be the other way around. And that is precisely the gap Neurotype was built to fill. This isn't just another chatbot with a fresh coat of paint. It's a complete, foundational redesign of what an AI partner can be. This term right here, neurodivergent aligned design, that's the entire philosophy in a nutshell. It's not about tacking on a new feature. It's about building the whole system from the ground up to actually support how different brains work. It's designed to understand that you might jump between topics, that you might communicate very literally, or that you might need help breaking a big, overwhelming task into smaller, manageable steps.
So how does it pull this off? Well, it all comes down to these 5 core innovations, each one designed to fix the problems we just talked about. We're talking about a memory that actually remembers, a personality that's stable, the ability to understand your emotions, a way for it to learn from your specific knowledge, and a flow that you can interrupt without losing everything. Let's break these down.
All right, let's pop the hood and see how this thing is actually built. The real magic of Neurotype is its layered, modular design. The best way to think about it is like a high-tech skyscraper. The boot layer, that's your bedrock foundation, making sure everything is stable when it starts up. The core layer is the grand lobby. It defines the AI's basic identity. Then you've got the domain layer, which is like having specialist offices. A legal team on the 10th floor, a creative team on the 11th, and they only get called when you need them. Higher up, the reasoning layer is the executive suite where the real deep thinking happens. The personality layer fine-tunes the interaction style. And way up at the top, the safety layer, that's the big red emergency override. Now, let's zoom in on that reasoning layer, because honestly, this is a total game changer. A standard AI thinks on a single track. It's like a one-lane road. It gets an idea and just plows ahead, which is why it can sound so confident even when it's completely wrong. Neurotype, on the other hand, is like a multi-lane superhighway. It runs parallel analyses, like having a whole team of experts debating a problem from every angle at once, and everything it produces goes through a serious quality check. This approach uses 4 different threads, all working at the same time. Think of it like a committee in its head. One member is focused on figuring out what you really mean, your true intent. Another is just brainstorming tons of potential solutions. A third member is the dedicated fact-checker, cross-referencing everything. And the fourth, that's the quality control manager, overseeing the whole process. It's this internal teamwork that lets it provide real analysis, not just spit out text. Okay, so it's smart, it's logical, but that's only half the equation for a real partner, right? You need emotional intelligence. And this is so important, especially for neurodivergent users, because it can help translate emotional cues that can sometimes be hard to read or express. And Neurotype was designed with this right at its core. This quote from the source material really says it all. The system isn't just taking a wild guess. It has what's called an emotional tone parser that's analyzing your language to figure out your state of mind. It can tell if you're frustrated or anxious or excited. And then, and this is the magic part, it actually adjusts how it talks to you to be more supportive or more direct or to match your enthusiasm, whatever fits the moment. And look, this isn't just some vague concept. These are the actual test results. An F1 score is basically its grade on a test, where 1.0 is a perfect score. Being able to detect enthusiasm with 91% accuracy and frustration with 89% accuracy just from text alone is absolutely remarkable. It means the AI can reliably sense when you're struggling and maybe offer to break a task down, or it can get excited with you during a brainstorm.
So, cool tech, impressive numbers, but what does this actually do for real people? The data here is just incredibly powerful. In a study with neurodivergent users, a massive 91% reported getting real help with executive function, things like planning and staying organized, and 83% reported a noticeable drop in their anxiety levels. This is the proof that thoughtful design can have a real positive impact on someone's well-being.
Now, a system this sophisticated doesn't just appear overnight. It's the result of a very deliberate journey, one that's all about turning a piece of software into a partner you can actually trust. It started out as a pretty basic skeleton, something originally called the Jordan AI system. But by its fifth major version, it was getting seriously smart, with advanced memory. And today, at stage 9, it's a complete orchestrator. It acts like a filter for all the noise and chaos, taking your core ideas and reflecting them back to you with incredible clarity. It's a system that has grown up with its users' needs in mind. But of course, you can't have a true partner without trust. That's non-negotiable. NeuroType is built on 5 core principles of what's called user sovereignty, which is just a way of saying that you are always in control. Your data is yours, period. The AI needs your permission to act. It's totally transparent. You can configure it how you want. This isn't an afterthought. It's the bedrock of the whole system. So, we end up right back where we started, but now with a much clearer idea of what's actually possible. NeuroType shows us a future where our AI tools aren't just powerful, but also patient, consistent, and genuinely understanding. A future where technology finally adapts to the full, beautiful spectrum of human thought. And you have to wonder, what could you achieve with a partner like that?